Stampers, this is Sheila coming from my studio, Stamping Wishes, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am here today with the Glitter Queen blog hop. This month's theme is anything that is your favorite that's retiring. And yeah, that's a hard one for me because I have so many of them that I just absolutely love the stamps, and some will remain with me as my standbys whenever we do retire them. But today I'm going to be working with the set Pretty Kitty. It just broke my heart to see this one and Bella's stamps go into retirement, but it is what it is. So I'm going to be using this one, and along with that I'm using I think some stuff from Golden Afternoon, which is going to be one of those that also I believe leaves through our occasional, and it has fast become one of my favorites as well. So we're going to stamp a little bit with that. I love the font that they used in it. And I used also the stitched framelits in the cards that I made here, which I'll show you the rest of them in a second. I decided I'd try different shapes. I tried the ovals, I tried the circles, and then used the scallop circles behind them, or the circle framelit dies behind them. And then this last one that we're going to do today, I'm using the largest square and then the second one down from that one. Okay, and so the way the card works is it's on a card base, and they lift open, and this is how it looks from the inside. And this one is Life is Sweeter with Friends Like You, and it's a happy birthday card, and then it flops back down. And this particular one works the same way, just with a different oval design, and it's a thank you card. And that's that one. And this designer paper and this designer paper, which is the, which one is that one? Don't have too much of it left, but it, again, was one of my favorites. It's Nature's Poem designer paper. Is unfortunately going away. And so I wanted to use up as much of that as I could in these cards. So today what we're going to do is here are our pieces. I've gone ahead and pre-cut, and we'll stamp and color along the way. But these are my two squares that I told you I used from the Stitch framelit set, and I did the large one in the mint macaron, and the smaller one is done in the shimmery white. And then we have an inside piece here, and this one should measure 3 3/8. Let me make sure it did, because I was kind of cutting pretty fast for this. Yep, it's no, this one's 3 3/4, and it's by looks like 4 1/4. Okay, so that's your inside piece, and then this piece measures 3 7/8 by 11 inches, and then we're going to use some Sierra sand, I think, behind it. I thought the two colors, because when you look at this DSP, it has those type colors in it from the background, so I thought this would be real pretty together. But anyway, this one is your basic cardstock piece, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. The next size down would be your 4 by 5 1/4. And this one we're going to score, because remembering that we have 11 inches, and you want to have a 5 inches for the inside, because again we're coming down from the 5 1/4 piece, which is your layering piece. So that would tell you that your inside piece needs to be 11 inches. So if you took 6 from 11, that would leave you your 5. So what we're going to do is score this at 3 inches on each end. And remember, when you're scoring, you want to score so that you bend away from your score line. So this is going to be the front. That's where I want to score. I'm going to score it at 3 inches there. And then I'm going to bring this around and score it at 3 inches. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and fold that and burnish it. I don't know if y'all noticed my pretty paper there. I got that at Center Stage. It was part of our placemats, and I made sure I didn't spill anything on it so I could bring it home, because I just love the colors and the magnolias and stuff that are on it. So I put it under my glass mat here so I could protect it while I was stamping and the like. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and layer this piece on because there's nothing we're going to be doing with it. So let me get my adhesive out here and let me make sure I'm still in the frame here. Can you believe that we're all so close to a new catalog? Wait until you see it. Oh my gosh. There are, I say this, and I know probably a lot of people do every year, and you think it can't get any better, but it does. And they've just really outdone themselves this year. I absolutely love what they've done as far as the layout goes, and it just all makes real good sense. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this on because we don't have anything we're doing particularly with this but layering stuff on it. So let's go ahead and do that. Now if you wanted to put any kind of ribbon on it or any other kinds of decorations, you might want to do that at this time, but we're going to keep this very simple. Okay, and so now we have our layers on, and there our card opens this way. Okay, so this will be our inside, and I'm still kind of thinking how I want to decorate it, but if you see, it'll fit right in there. Not with a lot of extra borders or anything, and that's the way it's meant to be. It's not supposed to have a lot of edging on it to give us more stamping space and everything. So there we go. We'll be stamping this. So let's go ahead, and I did go ahead and cut. This was the scrap that was left over from when I cut one of my pieces of the Sierra sand down, and this particular one measures about 3/4 inch by the 3 7/8, and I'm going to put this as a band. I just think it kind of breaks up the print a little bit and adds to it, so we're going to do that. And if you wanted to, you could probably use a punch and make a decorative edge around edging around there. But again, I'm trying to keep this simple. Or we could even, if we wanted to, we could bring that in like that. So that might be an alternative as well. And this piece will go on the front here. And I think I'm going to do it at an angle. At first I thought I'd do it this way. And I thought, no, let's kind of change it up a little bit. Do this as an angle. And I think that's going to be a pretty layout. Okay, so let's go ahead and start stamping and coloring, and then we'll get on down here. So let me find what I did with my blocks. There's one. I had taken my other blocks that I have, and I'm in the process of cleaning them up, so you'll have to excuse me using this non-Stampin' Up! Block, but with my clubs I have to have extra blocks, and so that's where these came from. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and center little kitty right there in the center. Again, press and hold. You want to make sure that that ink transfers. Very pretty. Okay, and let's color her up real quick, and I call it a her because she's just so cute. Not that boys aren't cute too, they are, but just in a different way. Now what I did, I like the shading of the Flirty Flamingo, the light in the pink, and you'll see here in a second what I do and lift a little bit of the color off so that I can have the lighter shade but in that tone range that I wanted. So I came up here and lifted a little bit of the coloring off, and see how pretty that comes out. And then I wanted to keep its nose real bright. Okay, so let's kind of do, I think we'll go ahead and do a mint macaron, a dark one for its ribbon. So let's go ahead and get that ribbon on in there. Okay, and then let's do the kitty, a gray kitty. I kind of like the gray kitties. The brown ones look pretty too, but anyway, we're going to use gray. So I'm going to come in here and color the little ears. Let's bring a little bit more chipping in there. Almost everything I color is either with our watercolor pencils, our blends, or using the aqua painter. I just love our color palettes that we have now. They come out so cute. Now what's cute with these kitties too, if you want to give them a little calico look or different tips to them, you can leave their tails, a tip of their tail to be white, or you might want to leave some of their paws with a little white on it, would be cute too. But I'm going to go ahead and go with a little solid one. I think my blend is getting ready to, I use them a lot, so it probably needs to get a replacement on it. Okay, so there's our little kitty. So let's go ahead and we'll use some dimensionals and prop it up. Let's see here's the dimensionals. So let's put some on the back here. Whoops. No, that's right. I was going to say I didn't want to put that many, but actually it's on the other one that we have to be careful because you don't want to get dimensionals on the part that opens up. So we'll do that in a second, but I think we'll go ahead and stamp our inside before we assemble the outside, since I'm still kind of giving some thought to what I want to do in those areas. Okay, so let's see if we get this positioned. That looks good to me. Okay, now we'll come on over here and see what we're going to put on here. I pulled out a couple of the stamps from the the stamp set for Golden Afternoon, because I thought it would make a pretty border down here, and I'm not sure if I'll use the kitty again, but I definitely was kind of considering this along the edge here, and maybe bring it down here, and then put my greeting kind of up here, and it's going to be thinking of you. So let's go ahead and kind of get that in position too. But what I think I may do, I'm still debating on whether, no, I guess I'll do it all in black and white. I was going to do the mint macaron, I think, with the wording, but I do think that I'll do the black, because I've even considered maybe putting some of the birds, I don't want to get it too busy, see what direction they're going, but putting some of the birds up here, and then the thinking of you here maybe, and then we'll put one of the, we may or may not put one of the kitties here. And then that would give you still room to write down here on the greeting. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Let me bring this up about here, because that would give, I didn't clean this off, so I don't want to put it down just yet. Proportion wise, I think that's going to get a little crowded, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at using this for the interior. And let's get our momentum, and let me get this over so you can see it. And I'm doing this because I know in case things don't come out as bright as I want, then I can restamp it. That's what I love about my Stamparatus. Can't get enough of it. And in fact, I was going to tell you, I actually bought 2 Stamparatuses because it never failed when I'd be stamping and I'd have everything laid out. I'd realize, oh my gosh, I got the mat under here and I've got the cling stamps, or vice versa. I need the mat under there because I have the photopolymer stamp. So I decided to get me 2, and one of them I keep the mat in and one of them I don't. So, and I my labeler ran out, but I plan on labeling it one that says with mat and one without, and that way I'll know which one to use. Oh, I think that's pretty. We'll just do that. Very, very pretty. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this aside and color this real quick. I think we'll use some of the, again, some of the light and maybe dark mint macaron on it just to carry the color theme out. And this one's pretty quick to color because you just kind of have to go around the leaves. And since I don't have any of my brown blends close to me, I think what I'm going to end up doing is just using some of the gray for the wood area. I think that will accent pretty. So let's go ahead and use that. Let's see if this is dark enough or whether we want to use the darker smoky slate. May come down with a little bit of the darker in a minute, but we'll do all the light in here now. So I hope by now you've gotten your Mother's Day cards all made and ready to go next week. I don't think my daughter watches my videos that often, but I had made one and I'm planning on sending it to her this weekend so that she'll get it and tell her how proud I am of all that she does and taking care of her family now. Just a little bit of shading. I don't want to put too much in there and take away from the rest of it, but just here and there. Oh, thank you. I think that looks great. All right, so now all we need to do is to adhere this one in, and we'll do that real quick. Okay, let's bring that in. And I think the fern from this DSP really goes well with the inside of this. It blends nicely. Okay, I think I am going to go ahead and go with trimming this one up here like so. So let me put a little bit of it here. Oops, got a little bit too much there. Let me see if I've got some that I can wipe that off with. Here's a Kleenex here. I didn't want to get it too gooey. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put this here and then flip it over to make sure it's about where we want it. Perfect. Okay. Let that dry for a second because I don't want to get it stuck down to the bottom flap here. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and I think we'll put our little kitty. I think that's pretty. Or we could go this way and then I could put a little couple of, I think we'll do that. We'll go up here with it because that way I can put a couple little embellishments on the trim work there. So what I'm going to do is come visually with my dimensionals. I don't want to go down at the bottom where I don't want it to stick. So we'll just bring it to the top. Maybe put one more in the center here just to give it some sturdiness. All right, we're just about done with our card. As you can see, it's real quick and simple. Okay, let's put it right about here. And I have some of my jewels, the faceted dots. Let's go ahead and put us some of the mint macaron, I think, alongside here would be pretty. We put a large one and then a small one next to it. And the same balance on the other side. Okay. Move it up just a little bit there. Oh, I think that's gorgeous. Okay, so here's our card. Let me bring the other couple out. That way you can see it. And remember, this is our Glitter Queen blog hop. So be sure, and if you're watching this from YouTube, switch on over to my blog and choose the next blog to go to. And until next time, thank you. Have a blessed day, and keep on stamping.